Pardon me. Good afternoon. God, you can only see my chin. Good afternoon, and hope all is well. And I'm been hearing that further down you've got lovely hot weather. We've got cold and wet. Cold and wet. So hello, Marianne, Christine, Charlene. Good to see you all. And I've got a mixture of cards and spirit. So as I said, the only reason why I asked to put in a relationship or a name is because it pinpoints it a lot quicker rather than sort of like throwing things out. Because so I've been hearing, Marianne, I've been hearing that you've got some brilliant hot weather, but a little bit too hot. We've got rain and dull. We've got rain and dull. And right. So we shall get. So Marianne, I see that you've asked for your Uncle Colin. So would you have a fan on a lot? I've got a fan, but it's never been out the box. That's how we are up here in Scotland. A pedestal fan, may I say. And it's never been opened. And so whether it's still working, goodness knows. The right. Would you understand that Marianne, that Colin's been in spirit for a short spell? Because he's not making me feel that he's been in spirit a long time. But would you understand that he was more than just an uncle? Because I'm kind of feeling that closeness and a good bond between the two of you. And would you understand why he makes me feel like he was an adopted dad? You know, yeah, because he doesn't feel as if he's been spirit a long time. But would you understand that he was like a go-to and you could discuss things with? And the because he kind of like makes me feel that you're needing to release and holding things to yourself. Hi, Mandy, Jeanette, Helen, Jamie, and Michelle. And right. I'm trying to do better writing, by the way, so that it's not worse than a doctor scroll, so that I can catch up with you all. And because I want to say that he made you see sense and sensibility and put you on the right path many times. He's kind of like just sort of like saying that just because he's not there in the flesh doesn't mean to say that you still can't talk to him, because you know spiritualism, you know spirit is close. And I want to say just offload to him when you're sitting with a cuppa, a cuppa, a cuppa. And the oh, Mairead, that's my grandchild's middle name after my mum. And because would you understand where he's making me feel that you're just needing that reassurance at the moment and that guidance? And the because he just makes me feel that you're just needing somebody to lean on at the moment. And But can I say that he's making it feel, would you understand that you can be a worrywart and take little things and turn them into big mountains rather than just keeping them as, what do you call it, pimples, Ken? Because it's like extending things because you over worry about things. Because he's saying that if you go to the source, rethink it, and put sense and sensibility in it, then you will see that it's not as bad as what you feel. Okay. And yes, he's definitely bringing in the over worrying bit. And because he's just kind of like making me feel that for you, pause, because it's not often you have that pause moment, which is just sitting in the quiet and just having that time for yourself. And because he's saying that if you can go into that quiet moments, he says you don't need him bleating on his views and things, but he will try and make things clear for you if you can understand that. And because it's just sort of like sometimes when we sense things, we think, "What was my voice? Forget it," And a lot of times it's not. They'll use your voice to save, sort of like bringing in fear and things. But it does make you doubt when you're first on the journey and you're connecting, and because you give a message and it's like, that was my voice I heard, and am I giving it right? And he's just sort of like saying, yes, of course he does, because you've been picking up on things, okay? Because he's trying to help you just now. But take a deep breath and relook the situation, okay? And can I say that you've no other worries to worry about? And because he says that you're just sort of like piling on the worries, so you need to go in and cleanse and sort of like mark them down, and the ones that's not needed, let go, okay? Especially the ones that doesn't belong to you because it's not yours to fix, if you can take it that way. And because he says that you would understand him saying that some of the worries that you have, hi Alison, Karen, Joe, some of the worries that you have, would you understand that they're big enough to fight their own battles, you know? But a lot of us are sort of like built in with these worry wart things. It's a bit of one of the blessings of life, I'm afraid. It depends how you're growing up and at school and things, and because you could sort of like yes, you are. You can sort of go back into schooling and find that that's where a lot of your worries started coming from, which kind of escalates through life. And I can totally understand that. And it's, but if you break it down, like what he's told you and shown you before, it's manageable. Okay. And you've been doing a lot of thinking about spirit past, and you've been overlooking memories as well. And he's saying, he says, by gum, he says, we were quite a pair, weren't we? And he says the same in family gatherings, like celebrations and that. And then he's saying, we could be quite a pair, quite a pair. Hi, Sue, Nessie, Eva, Kerry. And because he's just wanting to just give you that reassurance, but never think that you're on your own, because you do have support around you. And he's never left, he's only left in body, but he's still there with mind, soul, and memories. And he was a great babysitter, can I say? He was really a great babysitter, and he just says that he frustrated parents. And but he says it kept him young, and it kept his inner child there. And he's well aware of the fact that he should have had more time on the earth. And he says that, but unfortunately, his number was called. He's just going, his number was called, because he was a firm. You would understand him coming out. with kind of like saying that when your number's up, your number's up. There's nothing you can do about it. So you've just got to accept it. Because that was like his philosophy, Ken. And but he's saying that still loves you, and he says that he's never far away, and he likes it when he sees you having a good giggle. Okay, and you had a good giggle. Just would you understand last week watching a program, and it gave you a little giggle, and he says it was just lovely to see and hear, because things have just been a little bit too serious in around you. But he just wants you to go into it, break it down, and then look at it that way. Okay, but remember, there is lots of other ways of getting support as well. But he says he's always around. He's always visiting as well, can I say? And he says it's quite good because he says they didn't see me and they didn't feel me. And he says I can just go in and be nosy, okay? Because we can't sort of like, no, I'm not speaking to you, to dog. We can't say the words. And but he was quite a character, and he's just lovely, just lovely. And but please take his love, Marianne, and know that there is help there, okay? And just sort of like look for it, and you will get the support that you're needing, okay? Never ever feel embarrassed to sort of like ask for help. That's what he's kind of like saying. He says he didn't care again. He's just got a laid back attitude, and it's just lovely. It's just lovely. He says that's what kept you sane, because you were like this all the time, and then he was like, and he's just chuckling away, and he's saying that, but keep your plans in motion, okay? Keep going, persevere, and he says you'll get there. You'll make that goal. And thank you for working with me. Christine Campbell. Oh God, he was so laid back. Put him into like a disaster, and he would just sort of like go through it like that, keeping everybody calm and doing his job and just sorting people out, and you know, and because he was very knowledgeable, knowledgeable. I've got to bring in football as well, and he says that caused a little bit of a stir within the family, and he likes stirring up the non-believers, but he also likes stirring up the opposite team supporters, and he's just leaving you with that. And thank you for working with me. Christine, pardon me, Christine, would you understand that the lady that's coming forth would have had problems? Because I felt there that it just made me feel that near the end, oh my, I feel like I'm going to be sick, and sort of like regurgitating. And because I just want to say that that came in quite strong there just now, but I feel that it's a combination. Thank you, Marianne. And I just feel that it's a combination of medication, but also illness as well, Christine, if you can understand that. And Bridget, Emma, and I want to say that she's another lady that was your go-to, can I say? And but I've got to say that you would understand that sometimes she had like a stern demeanor, but she had a kind heart, and she was well respected. So would you understand this as your aunt, Christine? I'm not feeling younger. I'm feeling slightly older. And I don't feel as if this lady reached her full term, if you can take it that way. And because the lady that's coming in, she's just making me feel that she was Sense and Sensibility. That's how she's just put it, you know. And right, I'm a joy to go and visit. I'm not being dragged, okay? And would you understand where Sylvia comes in? And I also want to mention Mary, and I want to mention Margaret as well. and because I'm just getting that names coming in, and Maya Tanya, this lady, would you understand that this is an aunt on mum's side of the family, Christine? You know, and because I feel that she's coming in with a bit of sweetness for you. So you're another one that's been struggling just lately, and but you would understand that it's not massive struggles; it's just irritating struggles, and just things that you're wanting sorted out, and it's a frustration of not getting moving forward. Is hi Leah, Lee, and thank you. And as I say, I'm trying to strengthen names. I've been trying to strengthen names for about over 20 odd years. So when I get names, I just give them anyway. And but I definitely felt connected to the women's side of the family. And, because there's a strength there. And I'm a good neighbour, but don't make a fool of me, is what I'm being made to feel. So she's kind of coming in with just that a little bit of authority, but nicely. And but I've got to say that she's also taken you to the outdoors, Christine. And I want to say that she's bringing you out and just sitting and breathing and just taking in that nature and just sort of like trying to just calm, if you can take it that way. Would you understand where the frustration is coming around? And yes, you're on. And I want to say that she's just sort of like making me feel at the moment that you would understand. Would you understand frustration with a medical? Because I want to say that you're wanting answers, but the answers aren't quite coming. And would you understand that illness in and around you, but it's slow, and it's like trying to deal. I'm getting frustrated because I'm being restricted. Would you understand it that way, Christine? Christine, and because I want to say that she's bringing in a lot of strength for you. She's a lady that wouldn't let you know what was going on within her, and she hid a lot. And because she had that strength, but that strength comes down the family, and you've got some strength within you as well. Because I'm just seeing the ivy bush as well, and so she's bringing in the strength for you, Christine. And she says that when you look back on your journey, you can see how far you've come. And she says, but a lot of times, she says, it's banging your head against a brick wall. And as I keep on telling everybody, please don't, because it hurts and it leaves a mark. And but she's saying that she's kind of like because medical profession, she says it is kind of like gone downhill lately, and she says it's like gold dust if you do get an appointment, but she says they're so slow to get things moving. Would you understand blood tests to come? Because she's brandishing a needle, again, syringe, and she's just saying she'll do the job herself and she'll get you answers. She was quite impatient. She's just showing a little bit of impatience as well, if you can take it that way, Christine. But I just feel she's coming in with the strength for you and to let you know that you're not alone and that she is in and around and she's monitoring the situation. And she says, but by gum, she says, it's no time to come up here, she says. You've got work to do down here, okay? So can you take those thoughts away? And she's just sort of like saying that the she's I want to say she's giving you an ice cream. She's giving you an ice cream. Yeah, well, she's acknowledging blood tests, Christine. So she's watching. She's watching, and she says, unfortunately, she kind of steer them up to chase them up a lot quicker. And she says it just seems to be the way of the thing now. And she says, but in her time, she just used to just phone up for an appointment or just go and speak to the receptionist and then take her turn in the waiting room. And then she says, we just kind of just got taken and just dawdled in and out. And then she says, so what are doctors actually doing now? Because she says they didn't seem to be working enough a lot of time. And she says a lot of the surgeries are kind of like empty. And she says that's frustrating as well. And she's just bringing in, letting you know that she sees the situation, but she says try and let the doctor know how it's affecting you, okay? Because you're worried, you don't like what's going on, and she says talk to the doctor and let them know how you are feeling. And then she says that might speed things up as well, you know. But she says, I can't promise. But she's definitely in and around you, and she's definitely there supporting you, okay? And I want to say that she's leaving you with some comfort food and good, plain, old fashioned stodge food, okay? Doesn't do the heartburn any good, like, but by gum, it's so lush and moorish. And she just wants you to look after yourself, okay? Don't put yourself last. It's time for you for TLC. And I hope that made sense. And thank you for working with me, Christine. I'm getting all mixed up now. Charlene. So, Charlene. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Magician, Four of Clubs, and a beautiful red rose. Okay. So there's things that you're trying to sort of like balance at the moment. And it's like everything's connected to one another. And I want to say I've got emotions, I've got relationships, I've got family, I've got always overthinking, trying to find new pathways and worrying about career and money, if I could put it that way. Because you're trying to take that step forward, and you've just got a beautiful aura of green, and this is green for gold, because when you set your teeth to something, you aim for it, and sometimes you get sidelined, but you aim for it. And then you've got the four coming in for stability, but it's the same old, same old, same old, same old. Okay. And I want to say that it's also bringing in the. Would you understand that you're needing an injection of energy at this moment? Because it just feels that things in and around you just now is getting a little bit heavy, a little bit heavy. And, oh, Teresa. Ah, so you would understand the heaviness then. Would you understand that it's been a bit challenging lately because a lot of people are coming in with a lot of emotions, Charlene, and the it's trying to balance that as well with emotions, relationships, and people and things. And but the red rose I want to say comes in, and this red rose, would you understand if I gave you a red rose from Dad and from Grandad? Because I kind of feel that the roses is significant. The red roses, I just feel that they're significant for stability. And from your mum, the red roses, because it's a beautiful colour, an absolute beautiful colour, but it's also self-love as well. And it's trying not to forget self, because when we're doing this job, we kind of put ourselves to the side. And then after, I don't know about you, but after readings, it kind of like dwindles on for a little while, and then we do a little bit of thinking, and that brings the energies down. Hence why you're getting a great big injection. Your mum was into this as well, because I'm just feeling a little bit of energy buzzing there. And but we've got the pentacles coming down from the top, so there's bigger things to come. And we've got the beautiful orbs in and around. We've got a beautiful love heart as well, because you would understand that there was a good relationship between you and your mum, and choices and decisions to be made, Charlene. So this is a step forward, because there's things that you want to bring into fruition, and but it's not quite stopping yourself, but it's finding that way forward. And should you take the leap of faith? And we cannot sit here, as you know, and say, take that leap of faith. You can only sort of like guide, and but you're very well connected. So ask, so ask for that help, ask for a sign, and they'll put you on the right path, because that connection's strong. And the I want to say, you would understand finding old writing. I want to give you a sheet with old writing on it. Would you understand old letters, Charlene? Old letters, because it's like a manuscript or something that I've got to give you. And so whether this is a manuscript of from Spirit for the next adventure, and because you don't want to just be stuck where you are, you're wanting to bring it on, and bring it on fully, you know, because there's a lot of things in the horizon that you are aiming for, and they'll be there sort of like helping, can I say, helping, because it's wonderful helping people. It just gives you that beautiful feeling, but it's also even better when we connect to Spirit. If we could just bottle that essence and hand it out to everybody, what a brilliant world we would have, you know. And the sort of like just bringing that in. And I want to say that if you came in earlier on, Caroline, you will be, and just bringing in that essence. But would you understand that you're trying to change appearances as well, you know? And would you understand looking at the old ways? Because I want to put you into one of that old-fashioned tent box things. And we've got the crystal ball, we've got the tea leaf readings, and we've also got the palms and the runes. So would you understand that you've been looking at older ways of doing readings, you know? And because I just want to bring that in. And a couple of those things uh, your grands had did it, can I say, did it. But listen to your gut, because that's the thing that pushes you forward. And but it just feels an exciting future. Okay, and thank you for working with me. Right, so we are now choo choo choo. Okay, and for those who's regulars, you know what choo 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 is. Okay, so can I have Lee? Lee, are you still with us? So I'm going for Lee, and then I'm going for Bridget, and then I'll be back for Mandy. Okay, so that's the next three: Lee, Bridget, and Mandy. So I'm just looking for Lee. You're so welcome, and it's exciting when we think on new pathways as well, and just sort of like brings that forward. So Lee's now got an emoji, and if she does turn up, then we will see to her. So Bridget, I see that you're there. Golly, I can read my writing today. Oh, Lee, there you are, Lee. Right, I want to say, why have you still got burdens in front of you, and why is your eye still closed? Because it's time to open them and see things for what they are, and lots of conversation in and around you, choices and decisions to be made. And I want to say that gain all the understanding that you can, get every piece of information rather than getting bits and pieces. And would you understand, Lee, if I said that you're getting bits and pieces from outside sources as well? Because I just feel that that's why you're blindfolded. Okay, somebody's crossed swords, and but I want to say you would understand relationship wise that it's trying to sort things out. But there's a lot of calm coming in. There's old communication, which is just going on deaf ears. Try and let that go and not keep it in there in the heart, and try and move forward. There's lots of conversation to be had as well, and but see things clearly for what they are. You've got travel, and I want to say bringing in sort of like America, but bringing in the old ways as well. So I'm wanting to be investigating like cultures and things, if you can understand that, or you just sort of like glance. And the the teepee's a bit like camping, isn't it? And underneath the stars and just appreciating the nature. Again, you're looking for stability, but it seems to be repetitive, repetitive, repetitive. So you're just looking for something a bit out of the normal, can I say? And this is just as simple as possibly going for a supper, or just sort of like driving down to the beach or driving to the park or out into the wild, just something different to give your brain something else to focus on. Because when we work and work and work, then it makes us dull people. And because it's not stimulating the brain, if I can just say, but you are progressing forward in your life, and you're progressing forward with what you want to do. And the two, you've got choices and decisions to make, and bringing in career and money as well. So it's trying to balance the books, and it's trying to for movement forward. And the red thread, that's unusual. And but you've got an idea of your way forward. So it's just sort of like biting the bit and making things happen. Okay. So I hope that made sense, and thank you for working with me. Bridget. Oh, there you are, Bridget. I see you there. Bridget, contemplation. Contemplation, but try not and stay too long on contemplating old things, okay? Because then they manifest into sort of like a little bit of emotions, a little bit of anger, a little bit of not getting to the bottom of things and releasing. So try not to contemplate too much. Conversations needed, but I want to give you healing around the neck, and that's where a lot of stress sits. I want to give you healing around the hips and down one leg in particular. Always in your mind, and your thoughts are kind of like, would you understand that at times it feels like you're running when you should be walking? And so it's just sort of like stepping back and just taking thought and count. Lots of healing coming in and around you. I'm giving you the peace of the night time as well. And but sometimes nighttime eludes you. But there's been a lot of thoughts on people past lately, and the still keeping them alive, which is wonderful. You've got choices and decisions to make as well, and but some of them it's like, just let it run on. But when these things that were sort of like pushed to the side can sort of like irritate and then become a problem later on. And so it's best to sort of like deal with it, let it go. Okay. Queen, take time for yourself, a bit of TLC, can I say? And she comes in with that, and the pause is giving you a break, and because you're a busy lady, and it's just giving you that space for yourself. The emotions, relationships, family coming in as well, and you're trying to balance them all. Okay. And we can do so much, but we're not miracle workers. And so try and prioritize, but make sure that you give some time to yourself as well. I hope that made sense, and thank you for working with me. Mandy, are you still with us? Yes. Sweeney. Yasha Sweeney. So after Mandy, can I have Tanya, and then T Smith. So Mandy, Tanya, and T Smith, and then we're back up to, oh golly gosh, that's Bridget's cards. So Mandy, contemplation for moving forward, no longer harbouring things deep within, and storm clouds is starting to disperse because you've got completion. So you're coming to the end of an issue. Lots of growth in there, so it's time to sow the seeds of what you want to see in the future, and it's cleansing and stepping forward. It's bringing in changes, some of them out of your control, but it's taking in the changes. I want to bring in career and money for you as well. And it's not always a constant worry, but it is something that you worry about every month, when sort of like paychecks comes in, and how can I make it a bit better, etc., etc., etc. I want to give you reading as well, and I want to bring in the books because it's like hitting the books. And so if you're not contemplating studying, I want to say it's getting back into the enjoyment of reading, if you can take it that way. And it's again, you've got the choices. You've got 2 5s there, and the 5s are choice changes, whether you like it or not. And it's like going with the flow. And sometimes going with the flow is fine, but sometimes it's awkward and it's readjusting. And we don't like to readjust, you know. But would you understand that there's a box of really old books sitting in a box somewhere? And I'm not meaning modern paperbacks, I'm meaning old fashioned books, because I want to say that these belong to an ancestor of yours. And I want to say that I want to go down in the grandfather link for these books, but they're quite dusty and needing a bit of TLC. And because I just feel there's a box of these books lying, if you could understand that. But there's lots of green coming in and around, so that's new beginnings, new starts, new life, and movement forward. I'm unsure what that is. Would you understand farming in and around you? But I want to bring in sheep, because you've got like a shepherd's crook there. And then you've got the barrels as well. So the barrels is like storing rainwater, but instead of rainwater, would you understand that you're trying to store like keeping valuables for a rainy day, keeping money for a rainy day, and things like that. And because I just want to bring in that to squirrel some things for a rainy day can be prosperous in the future, can I say. I have to mention bonds to you. BONDS, bonds, premium bonds. Would you understand where there's premium bonds in and around? You know? And but I want to say, watch out for the person that's disguised, because you've got half of a clown's face here. And I just want to say that rocking the boat, but you've got a good inclination as to who it is, and you've got a good inclination as how to sort it, okay? And it's but positive cards for moving forward, and thank you for working with me. Right, can I have Tanya? Are you still with us? Because I think it was Tanya, and then it was T Smith. Yes, thank you, thank you. There's a bond that's been looked for quite a few years. So if there's any way of sourcing it, you never know. You never know. But I'm just feeling bringing in the mention of the bonds. The mention of the bonds. And thank you for working with me. Right, can I have Tanya, are you still with us? If not, you've got a little emoji, and if you turn up, thank you, Mandy. T. Smith. Hello, Neil. We don't have much gentlemen, I'm afraid, but welcome. Hi, T. Smith. Right, because I'm doing my this, so this is like new people, old people, new people, old people. So progression. So it's time for you to do a clearance, T. Smith. So would you understand where you've got things that keep regurgitating forward and keep coming into thoughts and keep coming into no, it's okay. Tanya hasn't shown up, and so T. Smith was next. And I want to say that it's bringing in for you clearance, but would you understand where you haven't felt very strong lately because you're surrounded by ivy and it brings in a strength. Storm clouds are dispersing, but there's a lot of healing coming in and around you. So would you understand matters of the heart, T. Smith? And contemplation, but the contemplation for moving forward, for bringing in energy for you, and action. It's like getting off of the bottom and taking action, because thoughts comes in, and but that's about as far as you go. You think it, and then you're just sort of like leaving it, and then it becomes a regret further on. Changes whenever you like it or not, but I'm also bringing in money and career for you, and balancing, if I can put it that way. And yes, for making the future, thoughts comes in, and it's kind of like sidle to the side. And so this is bringing in, the ivy brings in the strength for you to take that leap of faith to move forward, okay? Because there's just that kind of like veil of fear to take that leap. And it's understandable, because when we are sort of like secure just now, taking that leap of faith is kind of like into the unknown. But sometimes with the changes, it works out for the better, and it also works out for the better money wise as well. So weigh up all your options, okay? And if you are taking it forward, make sure it's in place before you release the past, if that makes sense. And the red's coming in for that anger, coming in with that emotions and just changes. You've got the little white mouse. Now he's looking cute there. And we all know that mice can bite, but would you understand where you've kind of like lost a bit of your fire? And it seems to be that you're coming in a bit mellow, but it's time for you to take your creativity and your ideas of new pathways and new directions into the future. Mushrooms grow anywhere, so you're quite resilient. And you've got the beautiful butterfly here, half evolving at the back here. Okay, so you're starting to transform, but you're kind of like stuck. So it's trying to bring this transformation further. Okay, it's believing in self, but it's also, you can sort of like put in like the leap of faith, but it's what you want out of life and how to go about it. So I hope that if you Google totem animals and put in your mouse, you'll get an extra message. Okay. So I hope that made sense. You've got 3 for your creativity, new ideas, new pathways, and you've got banging your head against a brick wall. Now I tell everybody, don't, because it hurts and it leaves a mark and you don't get any further forward. And so I hope that made sense, and thank you for working with me. Right. I've kind of forgotten. Boy, Tanya's not there. He's not there. And right. Totem animals, yes. Totem animals, and put in mouse, and then you'll get your extra message there. Because when animals is brought in, my condition now, I can't remember everything. I forget gemstones, I forget the meaning of the animals, I've forgotten meanings of flowers. And because when you get the animals being brought in, there's an extra message there. And thank you for working with me. Right. Neil, gentleman energy. Are you still with us? There you are, Neil. And then I'll be looking for, oh, pardon me, Jeanette, and then Helen Marie. This is what I call count your blessings. So you're kind of like at a crossroads, you know, and counting blessings. You've got healing coming in, you've got cleansing to do, but you help other people release as well. You've got champagne bubbles, so there's a celebration to come. You've got the orbs, so that's understanding of spirit as well. I also want to bring in sort of like ghost investigations, you know. The bird of peace, so you're more a peacekeeper than a stirrer-upper, if you can take it that way. And you've got a strength within you that can manifest onto others. You've got beautiful healing waters as well, and the storm clouds dispersing. And I want to say that just touching on, I want to bring in a grandfather from the war, and because I'm just kind of like seeing a gentleman with a tin hat and the gun in hand and the fire blazing. And so just memories of a grandfather from the war. Um, the choices and decisions to be made and stability coming in as well. And you would understand that it's taken you quite a while to get to this stable point, but there's something still missing that you're looking for. There's a strong faith in and around you, but there was also a strong faith with a lady here on the earth plane. So I'm bringing in that religious faith as well. And I want to give you a smoky quartz as well, and connections to the smoky quartz. I know that smoky quartz is like up here, Scotland, but it's also other parts of the country as well. Bringing in for you, persevere, keep going. But I'm also bringing in the emotions, the rawness, relationships, and family. And so this is movement forward because you've suffered a lot, you've seen a lot, but you're still persevering and keeping going. You're still trying to find your feet at this moment, Neil, if that makes sense. But you've got a good instinct and you're getting there, if that makes sense. And so it's a way forward. And pathways opening up, doors of opportunities as well. And it's just sort of like bringing through. So I hope that made sense, and thank you for working with me. Right, Jeanette, are you still with us? And I'm just going to go on to one cards now and do as many as I possibly can. So Jeanette, you've got an emoji. Helen Marie, are you still with us? Looking for Joe Gardner, are you still with us? You're welcome. You've got a lot going for you. You've got that energies in there. You've got the compassion. Don't let people take away your compassion, okay? Because I feel that that is important to you. Many have tried. So, Joe, expecting miracles. And so I want to say that expecting changes, expecting I just want changes within the life, and I want to say that expecting better outcomes for you, Joe. Bringing in that healing energies as well. And if you're not doing the healing, I want to say thank you for putting out that thoughts in an evening, because I feel that you're very spiritual and often put out thoughts to the world, bringing in that peace and gentleness of the lotus as well. And but you're at a stage just now where it is counting your blessings, if you can take it that way, and you are now able to count your blessings, because for quite a while it was not so smooth, can I say. And but I just feel that there's new doors opening for you for stepping forward. And so it's weighing up and going with your gut, because your gut's quite a good, can I say, indicator for you as well. And but on the whole, it's just sort of like enjoying life. Short, sweet, but I hope it made sense, Joe. Can I have Janine? Are you still with us? And then can I have, if Janine's not there, can I have Deborah Chapham? Deborah, mending bridges. It's hard going from we're the peacekeeper, isn't it? And it's hard going from we've got to be the doves of peace. So would you understand we're trying to mend bridges in and around you? And because it just seems to be that I've got to say stubbornness. There's a stubbornness there, if you can take it that way. But never lose your compassion, and never lose your faith, and never lose your empathy, can I say. It's been challenged, but some of these bricks that's going into the wall shouldn't be your doing, if you can understand it that way. And it needs two to tango, so it needs a two to sort of like complete it. But I want to say that, would you understand a stirring spoon? And I'm putting that to the family. And it's because it's like when you step out and you've got any family gatherings coming together, I've got the sprinkling of eggshells as well. But I want to say that workplace and that in and around, little niggles, but they're tiny, tiny little niggles. And they are sort of, though tiring at the end of the day, then they are kind of like manageable. Bringing in a lot of orange for you, so we're giving you a lot of energy. And we are actually trying to sort of like boost you up and put you up onto a pedestal so that you can stand up and be heard and counted. And because sometimes it just feels that you feel invisible, but your words are getting through. It's just taken a lot of time for understanding. The lots of greens in there and lots of growth and beautiful trees. So blossoming, blossoming and moving forward, and helping to sort of like make your pathway. And you are on the right road, but try not and let these people swerve you off of it. Okay? So I hope that made sense, and thank you for working with me. And right, so Nessie, seeing as to you're sitting there, stepping into stillness. It's like that breath moment. Daily is a bit busy in and around, and but sometimes you feel like sitting down, and but the mind goes, I can't because I've got this to do. Oh my, look at the dust under there. And so it's trying to give you that distraction so that you can have just a nice quiet moment to yourself. Okay, bringing in a lot of calm. And I want to bring in nighttime as well. And would you understand, nighttime seems to be the longest. And so it's trying to find how to manage that a bit better. But I want to say that your mind is also sort of like, can I say, distracted with loved ones past, and the thoughts going out. I want to say, oh, would you understand Germany, Nessie? Just got to say Germany for you, or in and around that area. Belgium, Germany, it's like just having a holiday, a break. And I want to say that you're teaching children as well what you were taught by your gran when you were younger, and you're still bringing them into the now, which is wonderful, which is wonderful. And the it's just trying to sort of like finding that balance, finding that balance. I want to bring in energy for you as well, but I want to bring in peace because you've got the oranges and the yellows coming in. And I want to be stargazing as well at the wonders of the universe. And that can still the mind as well. And because you can kind of like, as you're focusing, it can take you into like a sort of meditation. But on the whole, it's being kind to yourself and TLC for yourself. Okay. Stop putting yourself last, because when your batteries is done, you can't help others. Okay. And so you need to recharge, recharge, recharge. And, but bringing peace for you. And I hope that made sense. And thank you for working with me, Alison. And because I'm aware that time's a wait finish, so I'm just believing in the magic. This is bringing in your younger self, can I say, and bringing in the mystery and that childlike. And it's also, I want to say that you're also needing the magic in your life for changes and just to pep you up because I'm bored, you know. So you've got the magician's hats taking all sorts of things out of it and just finding that balance. You've got grounding, and because you've got a lot of browns in there, so I'm giving you grounding as well. And I want to bring in the blues, I want to bring in the water, I want to bring in the energy, I want to bring in the peace, but I want to bring in that inner child and the make believe. So never lose that. Doesn't matter how old you get, keep that faith. Okay. And believing in the magic, believing in the magic. And I want to say that I do feel a gentleman in and around you. I want to go dad, grandfather who believed in magic, and also took it in, also took it in daily lives, which made it a pleasant pleasure to go and visit. Okay. And so keep that faith, keep that laughter, and keep that inner child. Don't let nobody shut it in a corner. And I hope that made sense. And thank you for working with me. Last, Vanya, seeing as you've just popped in there, following your bliss. So it's like following your dreams, your calmness, and it's just bringing in that fantasy and bringing in music, carefree, just running in the meadows. So you would understand that things have been a little bit trapping just now, and you felt closed in because it's opening up for you, Vanya. And the it's sort of like bringing in that freedom and being carefree. It's like coming in at night and like what a lot of us used to do, kick off the shoes, kick off the bra, and then just relax. So it's taking away restraints and just being all you can be, if you can understand that, Vanya. And it's appreciating things in and around, bringing in the culture, bringing in the travel, bringing in just nature and being with the animals. If greens, new beginnings, new starts, new life, planting the seeds of life, planting that what you want out of the next step of your journey, and just that freedom, light and carefree. It's like the cement slabs are lifting, if you can understand it that way. And thank you for working with me. And the right, we've just got goodness me, by the time I find what I've seen there, that I'll have missed it. And it's bringing in just that peace and tranquility for you as well, just calming the brain. And unfortunately, we've now come to time. And yes, I know I did see somebody there saying that you'd come in earlier, and but I do so much, and then new people at the bottom. I mix match, mix match, mix match. So I take a couple from the news and then I take a couple of the olds and then we go around it that way. Time just goes woof. And but if you didn't get a message, I hope that you got something out of other people's messages. And thank you to Veronica and Stace for this platforms and all the helpers. And please support the people that's coming on next. And because this is a day long and evening thing, and it's just wonderful just to bring comfort and joy to people in upliftment. Thank you for supporting me. It means a lot, and I wish you well on the rest of your week and your day. If you've been upset, focus on something that makes you happy and get rid of it, okay? Because we don't want to be grumpy all the time. And thank you, and bless you till next week.